Hey, hello everybody. I'm Bill Warner and I'm with Entredot. This is Thursday morning, Thursday at noon, live with Entredot. We do this twice a week, Tuesdays and Thursdays. So welcome for this Thursday. And we'll continue these every week, Tuesdays and Thursdays for a while now. Let's see how this goes. So I hope you're all having a good day. Looking outside here, my goodness, it's blue sky 2 days in a row. I'm bumped. I'm gonna go and take a ride this afternoon and blow the stink off me. So look, this subject today, and will be, or has been for the last couple of lives, and will be for the next few, is on entrepreneurship in action. This is all about what goes on with an entrepreneur when they figure out that they want to start their own business. So we're starting from nothingness, and we're just a little bit above nothingness with this video. We started the first video in this series, Entrepreneurship Action, was all about readiness and really checking out, hey, are you really ready to do this? And if so, let's go ahead. If not, maybe rethink doing something else. The second video is this one here. It was published yesterday on our YouTube channel. It's on the premise of the business. So it covers what I'll take you through in a minute, is the premise of an idea. How about that? A business idea, not just any idea. So before I get started and go through what this idea thing is all about, I suggest you subscribe to our YouTube channel. Sorry. Where do I point? Here. Jeez, I'll get this right eventually. So our YouTube channel is the Entredot YouTube channel. It has this playlist, Entrepreneurship in Action, and many others that I think you'll enjoy and will be helpful to you. Helpful to you in marketing and sales and financing your business, in being a leader of a team of people. And the list goes on. There's 30 some odd playlists and over 400 videos spread across all of that. So please join me there, and I will respond to your comments. Today, you can make comments here too as well. I'll respond on the fly as I see them, or I'll wait till the end as appropriate. We'll see. But let's get on into this. So the makings of an idea really come down to these 5 things. And I covered it pretty much in detail in the video yesterday. But look, at the core of all this, and at the core of any business you want to go look at or evaluate or consider joining, let alone start one yourself, there must be some premise to this business. What the heck is it? And it's 2 things, and I'm going to embellish it with three more. The first is there's a need that is needed to be fulfilled, a need somewhere in some market that you're interested in doing something about. A need could be a problem that you're going to solve, a business problem, a problem in personal care, in products commercial products that people need. A need. And it's going to have to be substantial. It's not just kind of what you think they need. You're going to spend some time figuring out, do enough people need what you think they need in order to spend your time starting a company to fulfill it. But think about the need. Write it down. Express it as a need, and express it from the point of view of the people who have the need, not your view of it, their view of it. Because you're trying to satisfy their need, not your made up need on their behalf. Okay, there's a difference. So from their point of view. And then, well, let me go further. A need could be a problem you solve. A need could be an invention, something really innovative that you're coming out with that nobody realizes that they need, but they're going to love it because it's going to change their lives in some way. An example is this Apple Watch I've got sitting over here in the stand charging up. Who thought years ago you needed one of these? Hardly any of you know what the hell a dial phone is, do you? Well, we used to use them instead of these. But whatever your invention is, it's got to be really compelling. And it's going to change something to the benefit of the people who buy it. Thirdly, a need could be a social purpose. You know, the world of the nonprofits. They're businesses too, gang. There's nothing wrong with that. They just have a different form of financing, but they too have the same challenges in starting up as anybody else does. And they have to understand the social need that they're fulfilling as the nonprofit. So that's 3 examples of what a need could be in those 3 categories, one of them. So you write down your need, practice it. Hey, call me up if you wrote one down and it's not feeling too good. Call me up. I'll give you hell about it. So I'm using bad language. I wonder if I'm going to get censored by all these channels I'm on. Hey, look, the next thing is a solution. Something that provides for this need, fulfills this need. So your solution has to be compelling, right on, one-for-one match to need by need by need, solution, and it all hangs together. Your solution, you're going to write this down too, your solution to this need, or your resolution to this need, or your fulfillment to this need, however you express it for yourselves, it's got to match up. It's got to make sense too. And what we talk about in yesterday's video is you going out and figuring out how you're going to know that people really have this need and your solution makes sense. Well, guess what? You're going to do market surveys. I didn't talk about that in yesterday's video. Maybe I should have, but I'm going to talk about it now. There are lots of ways for you to figure out whether this need makes sense and whether your solution to it matches up and would be attractive to the buyer. So there are all sorts of platforms you can use to do market surveys. You can do them online. You can do them by interview. Come up with your questions. Make them multiple choice questions so you don't bias the audience. So however you do it, and this is, I think, the best technique, and I think interview is the most attractive one. Well, you'll have a series of questions you'll ask them, but what you also want to hear, if it's an interview, all of what else they say that might be enlightening to you. You're trying to figure out, does your need and your solution make sense to them? And then you got 25 or so of them, and you've used either a survey platform like Pollfish or SurveyMonkey or half a dozen others that are available to you. Do the work and really figure this out. The worst thing you can do, sorry I'm hammering on this, the worst thing you can do is proceed beyond writing down your need and writing down the solution for it, is to assume you've got it right, that you understand it really well. Let's move on from here and get on with this business. Bad mistake. You want to know, does this really resonate with real customers? Potential customers in this case, because they haven't bought anything from you yet, but they could be. Need and solution. By the way, the need and solution is also what you've written down there, your 45-second elevator pitch. When you're asked, hey, what the heck do you do for a living? I have a business that satisfies the needs of these kinds of people who have this set of needs, blah, 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 blah. And we provide a software platform that provides them all the information they need to solve that problem. Something like that. That was less than 45 seconds, but you ought to be able to do it in a minute or less. Anyway, then you move on to figuring out whether or not this is going to be a winning solution. In other words, is it competitive? Mainly. And that when you enter the marketplace with fulfilling this needs, other people are out there, perhaps, trying to fulfill the same need. So remember, a competitor is somebody who tries to fill this very same need that you do. They may do it in an entirely different way. That's okay. What determines a competitor is, are they trying to solve the same need as you? That's it. You don't say, well, they don't do what I do exactly, therefore they're not a competitor. I hear that all the time. I said, well, no. You're going to be calling on the same people as them, and you're going to be competing. They're going to do it their way, and you're going to try to do it your way. You need to prevail over that. You're going to have to do eventually some detailed competitive analysis in order to determine that, by golly, you got a winner and you can express it quite adequately. There's one competitor people often forget as well. Guess what that is? It's the status quo. Whatever need is being fulfilled, somehow your customer is dealing with it in some way right now. So your first competitor is to get them off of what they're doing right now onto what you think that they could do that would be better than what they're doing right now. That clear? So don't ever say to anybody, well, we don't have any competitors. Well, you got one at least. It's how the heck are they dealing with this thing now? You got to get them off that dime and onto what you have to offer them. Then, fourthly, you've got to go really deep. And we'll get into this when we talk about market research in tomorrow's video. But you've got to get into deeply understanding who this buyer is. Not by name, but what position are they in the company? What is their buying authority? Are they the economic buyer? Do they need finance committees or budget committees or technology review committees, whatever they do in a company to evaluate a project that you may be proposing that you provide for them? So understand the buyers, understand the demographics of them. In the retail world, it's the normal demographics of location, zip code, income level, size of family, all sorts of stuff, so that you can target your marketing approach. The reason you really want to know all this about the buyer is that when you first make your sales call, back over here in the B2B world, you want to know all about what makes these people tick and what their priorities are. So your market research, which we'll talk about later, it's got to be right on. But at this point, in you're assessing your idea, you're pretty sure you understand who the buyer is. And then finally, I've told you before, it takes money to start a company. And depending on the kind of company you're starting will determine how much it is. But you can expect $20,000 over the course of a year to get a company up and running if it's a services company. So there's not a whole lot of intellectual property that has to be developed or manufactured. You're providing services, but you do have to establish a methodology. You need a marketing campaign or 2 or 3. You need a really great website. There's 3,000 or 4,000 of the 20 I'm talking about. But by golly, if you're going to make something that requires manufacturing and distribution, injection molding, and warehousing, and on, all, really expensive stuff, you could be up in the $200,000, $300,000 range in what it's going to cost to start your company. Now you're into the world of, well, where am I going to get that kind of money? Well, if you're rich, you got it yourself, but it's a good chance you're not. You're going to have to find grants, or you're going to have to find investors, or you're going to have to borrow money from friends and family. Probably not banks, who they don't normally do startups. So those are the 5 things you got to think about. 5 when you're assessing an idea. This takes 2 weeks, 3 weeks, depending on how diligent you are at it. It's good to have somebody coach you through it. That's what Onderdot does, but you can find others as well that might help you. So the process you're going through in evaluating this idea, guess what? Is called ideation. That's what we call it. It's not that we invented that name or anything like that. That's right out of the dictionary, I think. I never checked that. But it's a process we take people through in helping them go through these 5 major topics you're going to have to cover. And if you'd like to know more about it, contact me. I'm bwarner@ontradot.org. You can contact me on Facebook or LinkedIn. I'm not too hard to find. So that's it. That's what ideation is all about. And that's what you've got to do to establish the premise of your business. That's what this is all about. Now, I got a couple of questions here. I'm going to put it in my words. Well, how deeply do I have to really understand the buyer at this point? Is kind of what this person is asking. Well, in your market research, not your market research, in your survey assessing the need and the solution, you're going to meet potential buyers. And the survey you take them through is a 10, 15 tops list of questions that pretty much gives you an indicator, that you're on the right track or not. So stick with it. The other one is, wow, that's a lot of money. I don't have even 20,000. Well, do the work to, over the top of your thumb, think about all of the things you're going to spend money on and ask people who've done it before. Well, how much does marketing going to cost me? What kind of budget do I need for that? I need to put a website together. I need somebody to help me with putting together my pitch. Whatever you need, add all this stuff up and see how much you need to get you to a point where you possibly could be cash flow positive. I'll bet you it's minimally $20,000 just for a services company. So I see Joshua's on here too. He said, this is twice today that I've caught the very end of your presentation. And he's crying his eyes out here. I know Josh pretty well. Josh, I told you this morning, go to my YouTube channel as well. All of this will be there. The premise video we did yesterday is there. It's the Ontradot YouTube channel. And quite frankly, Josh, I urge you to take a look at all of the videos in there. You've got a very good business going. You can only make it better by looking at some of the things, particularly about marketing, Josh. Maybe not so much sales, but marketing and leadership. You're getting a pretty big team going in your company. Every time I hear you talk about it, there's more people involved. That's a good thing. You're growing. Hope that answers your question. Next question was, I just turned notifications on so I get alerts when you go live. Well, that's Josh again. Okay. And he says, thank you. You're welcome. So, Ron, nice to see you too. Thanks for your comment. I'm glad this is helping you as well. And I thank you for joining us. Please do so. You join the YouTube channel too, and you'll be very pleased of the kinds of things it's going to help you with in your business too. So that's it for questions. I'm going to say have a great day. So there you go. Have a great day. I'm Bill Warner with Ontradot.